Greetings, Attorney Derek DeBrosse here. Derek DeBrosse, munitionsgroup.com, munitionsgroup.com. Go ahead and click that little bell icon down there below your screen. Make sure you like us, follow us on social media, all of the above. Coming back to you guys, just give you another update on restoration. You know, here at our office, we've been doing restoration work for 17 plus years now, and it's one of the core components of our practice. With that said, a lot of you have probably been wondering, many of you have actually called us, consulted with us, retained us about what Pam Bondi announced back in March as far as federal restoration of relief under the Gun Control Act of 1968 that's cited as 18 U.S.C. 925 subsection C. So again, just to give you some background to bring you up the date if you have not been watching my previous videos, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States under the Trump administration, has recently announced that they're going to refund, that's right, refund the federal restoration of rights process at the federal level for those convicted of certain crimes that bring with them what we call disabilities under the law from possession of firearms. So just a little historical context, since the early 90s, I believe 92, maybe 93, the Democrats led by Chuck Schumer have defunded this process. So although Congress has seen fit to say, hey, if you have a federal disability, we want an avenue for you to become whole again, legally speaking, to get your rights back, even though Congress has said that that is what we want as a country, the Democrats have saw fit to go ahead and defund that process, essentially just bypassing Congress and ensuring that these applications are not heard. And it's been like that since, like I said, 92, 93 timeframe. So with that said, what Pam Bondi has done through the Trump administration has went ahead and ordered that the restoration process now be taken from the ATF, put into the Department of Justice, and it be refunded and these applications be heard. We're currently in a holding pattern waiting for the applications to be released. I looked today, could not find that application, could not find a final reg or any kind of instruction as to how they're going to hear these. But in doing so, I started to research the 90s and I found the application from the 90s. It's actually ATF Form 3210.1. This may be the same application they use moving forward. I don't know. But I wanted to get some information out to my viewers and listeners that are kind of patiently waiting and what they're going to need. So the application itself has some very basic information for an introduction: name, address, birthplace, all that kind of stuff. I would encourage you all to have your birth certificates handy. I don't think we'll need those, but just have them available if we need those. It also goes into making sure that you can establish where you've lived, your residencies for the last 10 years. That includes dates of when you moved in, when you moved out. So start to collect that data because you're going to need it potentially. It also asks for an employment record, but does not put a timeline on this. Again, this is an old application, mind you, but start to gather that information. I would say at least all of your adult employment locations. And that also includes the title or the position you held and the dates from when to when. I know if I had to go through this process, that'd be enormously difficult if I had to go back to when I was 18 to figure that out. But it literally just says employment record, list present and prior employers, and show month and year of employment. So take from it what you will. Again, I was in junior high the last time these applications were actually being processed. It's going to ask for your convictions, obviously. They're going to want to know the specific crime that you were convicted of, the name and location of the court that convicted you, the sentence you received, the conviction date, and whether or not you were pardoned. If you were pardoned, you probably wouldn't be going through this process, but they do want to know that. So in addition to that, I've been telling my clients we need to get certified, not just entries, but certified entries of your conviction records. So the record from the court where you were convicted that said this is what you were convicted of, we want to get that document, that what we call pleading under the law that was filed with court, actually certified by the court clerk in case we need that in this application process. It also asks for other arrests other than for which you're applying for the conviction of restoration. It's asking for any other arrests you might have. It doesn't specify as to whether or not that arrest needs to be just felonies or if it includes traffic or not. But please understand that it does ask for additional arrests. As I look through the instructions, it's not really telling me a lot. But in any event, just make sure you have a pretty comprehensive understanding of the location, the dates, the courts, the sentences of all your convictions, and any other arrests that might be pertinent to the application submission. Probation and parole officers' names and addresses and phone numbers. And under this application, it required 3 character references. And this is what it says about character references. 3 references are required. Please include a written statement from each of 3 references who are not related to the applicant by blood or marriage, and have a known applicant. My microphone is devolving on me here. Sorry about that. Have known applicant for at least 3 years, and that are recommending the granting of relief. So you'll need some written recommendations as well. Tighten this for everybody so you don't see that thing move. We're having some technical difficulties here. I apologize. And then from there, it goes through basically what it would go through if you were purchasing a gun. Are you a fugitive from justice? Are you addicted to marijuana or any other controlled substance? Have you been convicted in a court of a felony? All those Federal Gun Control Act disabilities, those questions are asked as though you're buying a gun, essentially. Other than that, if you've ever been issued a federal firearms license, they want some additional information. The vast majority of you, because you can't have guns, I'm going to guess, have not had a federal firearms licenses. But I have consulted with some people recently that have had those licenses in the past, then were convicted, so we might need to include that information from previously, including the business name and address, a license number, and expiration date of your last federal firearms license. But in a nutshell, that's all that's on this application itself. As our office gears up to submit these, there's some things that we're kind of considering, but basically 4 big areas of information that we're going to want that we think would be relevant to the application. That's going to be employment and kind of a narrative of how that employment involved that show that you are rehabilitated, that you are a safe individual or responsible individual. We want to know more about your education. So you want to get your certificates, your degrees, copies of those over to us as well. And that would also include any military education that you got as well. We're going to know more about your family, marriages, children, what the children are doing, anything that you think would be pertinent to show good character and reformation of your life. And then lastly, we're also going to want to know about community service. So anything you've done in community service. If you're not doing community service, obviously that would help. So just a complete understanding of what you've done as far as working with the scouts to volunteering at Goodwill, involved in your church or synagogue or temple, whatever it is, right? We're going to want that information as well. Again, we don't have the final applications yet. We don't know what the Department of Justice is going to require for these applications, but I at least wanted to get you guys some semblance of what might be coming so you can start to gather this information. One of the more important things is having a complete understanding of your criminal record. So many clients come to me and it takes us an enormous amount of time to try and piece together this puzzle because it's like it's 2 different people, right? They had this one part of their life where they were just committing crimes almost rampantly, and then they've completely just flipped the coin or completely rehabilitated, great people contributing to society. Many of them have become very financially successful, and they honestly just can't remember all their convictions. So make sure you do your homework. That'll save you money on legal fees. And just know that we're here to help you guys through this process, and we are monitoring the application process closely. As soon as those applications are out, we will make a video and be launching that for your guys' information. Any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments there. We'll try to get to them if we have some time. We're going to try to keep videos coming along. And as always, remember to be safe and carry on.